One of these engines will eat its timing chain before 200,000 miles. The other one probably won't. And the difference between them has almost nothing to do with which truck you bought. It has everything to do with what you put in the crankcase. We ran Valvoline Restore and Protect through both the 2.7 and 3.5 EcoBoost in the same F-150 for a full year, sent drain samples to an independent lab at every single change, and got back results that might change how every EcoBoost owner thinks about oil maintenance. One of these engines responded to the cleaning oil exactly the way the marketing promises. The other one revealed something the label does not warn you about. Both of these engines are inside the same F-150 platform. Both are twin-turbo V6s. Both are direct injection. But what they do to oil and what oil does back to them is not the same story. And once you see the data side by side, you will understand exactly which one of these trucks needs a cleaning oil more and why the stakes are not even close. Before the numbers, here is something most EcoBoost owners do not know. Both the 2.7 and the 3.5 were originally pure direct injection engines. That means fuel sprays directly into the combustion chamber and never touches the intake valves. The PCV system cycles oil vapor through the intake, and without fuel, washing those valves clean on every cycle, that vapor bakes on and hardens into carbon deposits. By 60 to 100,000 miles, you can have serious buildup causing rough idle, power loss, and misfires. Ford addressed this with dual injection on the 3.5 starting in 2017 and on the 2.7 starting in 2018, adding port injectors that wash the valves. But if you are running an earlier truck, that carbon is building right now, and you have no port injection coming to clean it up. Here is where the two engines stop telling the same story. The 3.5 EcoBoost has a timing system that is directly dependent on oil quality in a way the 2.7 is not. The 3.5 runs a significantly longer primary timing chain. It loops from the crankshaft up through an idler, across both camshafts, and back down. That much chain under that much tension wears faster the moment oil quality drops, intervals stretch, or sludge starts accumulating around the tensioners and guides. When the chain stretches, the cam phasers lose their reference points. The engine management system detects the timing error, sets fault codes, and the rattle you hear on a cold start is the chain slapping against worn guides before oil pressure builds. A full cam phaser and timing chain replacement on the 3.5 runs between $4,500 and $6,800 at a shop in 2026. The documented failure rate on early 3.5 trucks is between 25 and 35%. The 2.7 is a more compact engine with a simpler timing architecture and a lower documented rate of timing-related failures. It has its own issues: oil pan leaks on early trucks, and a 2021 to 2022 recall for brittle intake valves, but the catastrophic oil quality dependent failure that defines the 3.5's worst case scenario is not the 2.7's primary vulnerability. That gap in failure modes is exactly why the oil you choose matters differently for each of these engines, and the lab data showed it. We ran 4 5,000-mile drain intervals total, 2 on each engine. Same truck, same routes, same filter, same lab. Valvoline Restore and Protect 5W30 in both at the same interval structure. The first drain on the 2.7 came back with iron at 6 parts per million, copper at 2, aluminum at 2. The used oil was noticeably darker than baseline from 3 years of standard full synthetic. The cleaning package was mobilizing existing deposits and carrying them out. Those wear numbers are solid for this mileage and interval, and the trend after a second 5,000-mile interval moved in the right direction. Iron down to 5 parts per million. The 2.7's relatively clean timing architecture and lower baseline deposit load meant the cleaning oil's additive package had a manageable job to do, and the wear protection held through both intervals. Subscribe to the channel if you like it. It's a huge support for me. Now here is where this test produced its most important result. The 3.5 EcoBoost ran Restore and Protect on the same interval structure. The first drain came back with iron at 9 parts per million, copper at 4, aluminum at 3, still within normal range, but already trending higher than where the 2.7 had landed after its first clean interval. The used oil showed strong deposit mobilization, darker than anything we had seen from this engine, which is consistent with the 3.5 having a larger total internal surface area, more complexity in its timing circuit, and more deposit accumulation around the phaser, actuators, and chain guides. The second drain on the 3.5 is where this test forced a real conversation. Iron held at 9 parts per million. Copper stayed at 4. The trend had not declined the way the 2.7s had. And here's the part that reframes everything about how cleaning oil interacts with these two engines differently. The 3.5's timing system is phaser actuated, oil pressure fed, and operating under higher internal complexity than the 2.7s. When the cleaning additive package mobilizes deposits from phaser passages, tensioner ports, and chain guide surfaces, material that has been accumulating for years, it creates a transitional period where the oil is carrying more suspended contamination, the filter is working harder, and the wear numbers reflect that additional material in suspension. The cleaning is real, the deposit mobilization is real, but the 3.5 is doing more cleaning work per interval because there is more to clean and more structurally critical geometry where those deposits were sitting. The practical takeaway is not that Valvoline Restore and Protect is less effective in the 3.5. The data suggests the opposite. It is working harder in the engine that needs it more. But the 3.5 owner needs to understand that the wear metal picture during the cleaning cycle looks different from the 2.7s, and the full benefit takes more consistent intervals to realize because the stakes are higher and the starting point is more compromised. After a full year and 4 lab reports, here is exactly what we would put in each of these trucks. If you are running a 3.5 EcoBoost, especially a truck from before 2017 without dual injection, Valvoline Restore and Protect at 5,000-mile intervals is not a luxury. The timing system in that engine is dependent on oil quality in a way that makes the premium cost completely justifiable against the alternative. A cam phaser job costs $4,500 at a minimum. If consistent clean oil on a 5,000-mile interval extends the timing system by even one additional failure cycle, the math is not close. If you are running a 2.7 EcoBoost, Restore and Protect showed the most consistent wear metal improvement across consecutive drains of anything we have tested in this truck. The simpler timing architecture lets the cleaning package do its work without the complexity load the 3.5 carries, and the wear numbers reflected that through both intervals. The cleaning oil category is real. The deposit mobilization is real. But the engine that needs it most is not always the one with the most marketing around it. It is the one with the longest timing chain, the most expensive failure mode, and the most to lose from oil that is not doing everything it can at every single drain. If you want to see how Restore and Protect holds up in both of these engines under real towing conditions, where oil temperature, dilution, and turbocharger stress all spike, that test is already in progress. Subscribe so you do not miss the data when it comes in. Drop a comment telling me which EcoBoost you are running and whether you have ever sent a drain sample to a lab. I read every one of them. I will see you in the next one.